Hey guys, I know a lot of you, I hope everybody's doing good. I know a lot of you are nervous about everything, but remember, okay, I'm going to take care of you. Everything's going to be fine, okay? So I know a lot of you are like, when are things due and blah, blah. I'm going to get you some dates today. And what I'm hoping is for sure, lab quiz number 5 will be up today. And hopefully lecture test number 5 will be up today. Now, if you look on your tentative course calendar, you would have been set to take another lecture test and another lab test. It would have been lecture test number 6 and lab quiz number 6. Okay, we're not going to have those two. You're not going to do a lecture test number 6 and you're not going to do a lab quiz number 6. Now, I'm going to be honest with you. This even without COVID-19, it is always difficult for us to get in 6 lecture tests. We do the best we can because it's a lot of information that you guys need to know, and so we do our best to get it all in. But typically, we do miss out on lecture test number 6. Now, having said that, I want you to know that information. I want to cover it for you, so I will be putting up the lecture videos covering that chapter 1, 2, 3 bioterrorism that you will see listed on your tentative course calendar that you had before the COVID-19 incident, but you just will not have that test. But I am going to put those videos up covering those lectures, and you do need to read those in your textbook, and you'll need to use them to fill out your study guides for those chapters, but you won't have a specific test. So in other words, when you take lecture test number 5, which I'm hoping is up today or tomorrow, and you'll have several days to do that, all the videos for that are up already, and all the videos for lab quiz number 5 are up already, and I hope to have that up today. So then you guys will be through with that. Then the only real lab test or lecture test you will have after number 5 for both lab and lecture will be your final. But I will put up videos covering the chapters that would have been on lecture test number 6. So you will have that information as a companion to your textbook and to the study guides that you have in your black binder, okay? And then you also have not only study guides for the chapters for test number 6, okay? But you also have study guides for your lecture final and your lab final. So what you're going to do is you should have been studying for lecture test 5 already. The videos have been up. You should have read those chapters already. You should have filled out your study guides, and you should have been studying that information. So you will take lecture test number 5, and then you will have no more lecture tests until you take the final. But you will have videos to watch dealing with the chapters, those last few chapters that are listed on your tentative course calendars, chapter 1 and then part 2, chapter 2, chapter 3, and bioterrorism. They're very short chapters, okay? But you won't have a test on them, but you want to know the information, so you'll do the same thing. Once you finish lecture test number 5 and lab test number 5, just go into doing those, watch those videos, fill them out, and start studying for your final, okay? Now, I'm also, right now, I'm going to be doing the videos for your labs 21 through 26 that go with your white lab binder starting on page, I think it's 179 in your laboratory worksheets, and it's for chapters 11, 12, and 13. And we know this, right? Our white lab binder is broken up into sections, right? You have the chapters at the first, and behind each and every chapter is a study guide, okay? So you need to read, once you finish your lab test number 5, you need to move to reading 11, 12, and 13 in your white binder, filling out those study guides, watching these videos right here that are companion to that and will help you, okay? But you won't have a lab quiz number 6. You will just have, sorry about the dogs, guys, you will have a lab final, okay? A lab final. And you have a study guide that will help you with that lab final. Okay, so like I said, don't panic. And if you have any questions, comments, or concerns on this, get with me. But like I said, the videos you need and the information you need to take lab quiz number 5 is already up, okay? You should have been doing that already, okay? Also, so again, guys, sorry for the interruption. So, like I said, all the information you need that you have needed to watch, use those videos that I put up for lecture test number 5. I put the videos up. They've been up. One of them's been up 2 weeks. Another one's been up for a full week. You watch those videos, read the corresponding chapters, and I talk about it in the lecture. Fill out the study guides that you have, okay? And then that test will be up shortly. You'll take that test. That will be the last lecture test that you are responsible for other than the final, okay? But I will put up videos dealing with lecture test number 6 so that you will have them, because there's going to be a few questions on the finals from those chapters, okay? Then, again, all the videos you need for lab quiz number 5 are already up, okay? You had chapters you needed to read. You had study guides that you could fill out from those chapters that you should be studying, and that quiz should be up today. Once you take lab quiz number 5, you're done with lab until the lab final. But you do need to watch these videos because these are companions to the reading that you have in your white lab binder for chapters 11, 12, and 13. You have study guides for each one of those. You will not have a lab quiz number 6, but you are responsible for that information, so that because some questions could be on your lab final. You also have a study guide, like I said, for your lecture final and for your lab final, okay? So if you have any questions, comments, concerns on that, please let me know. I'm going to send you something on the rest of your case studies. Everybody's been doing real good on that. I'm grading those now. And so I'll get all the grading up and everything like that. So all that's moving along. So you guys just, as soon as the lecture test number 5 comes up and lab quiz number 5 comes up, you can take those 2. I'll give you time to take them, several days, get those taken care of, and then just move on. You'll make sure that you want to cover the material for 6 that I'm going to have up for lab, and for lecture 6, know that information, but you will not have a test on either one of those, okay? So once you finish 5, you'll just have to look at the information for both lab and lecture on 6, read it, fill out your study guides, start studying for your final. You can kind of do those simultaneously, studying 6 and your final at the same, okay? All right, so let's get through this. If we would have been in lab, we would have had our requisitions. Now, I'm going to move through these quickly because I want to get this stuff up as fast as I can so that I can then take the time. And guys, I know it's frustrating for you. It is for me too, because this was not an online class. So every test has to be manually typed into the computer, question by question. It takes time. Sometimes it takes hours to type these things in. It takes hours to record lecture videos, and then you have to wait on them to export and then upload. It's a lot. I know it's a lot on all of us, but I'm going to work with every one of you, okay? So go through these, pause these videos, look at them. I want you to practice this stuff, guys. You should be doing your stuff at home like you did when you were in lab, okay? Practice. Get your partner. If you have a sibling in the house with you, if you have children in the house with you, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whomever, get them and do it. Identify yourself, okay? Do your introduction. Hi, my name is Melissa. I'm from the lab. I'm here to draw your blood, right? Will you please tell me your full name and your date of birth? Then you're going to compare what they tell you to your requisition and to their ID bracelet, right? Are you taking any medications, right? Have you exercised strenuously in the last 24 to 48 hours? Did your doctor ask you to do any kind of special diet? Did he ask you to fast? Have you not eaten? Okay, you want to practice this. Please, please practice this, and make sure, like on page 183, when it's talking about 21A, venipuncture 4 tubes, 1 through 30, right? It tells you every step that you should do in that venipuncture, step by step, exactly what you should be doing, including properly labeling your tubes. You do not allow your patient to leave until the tubes are labeled, and that your patient understands that these are the correct information. They confirm that. All the way down to number 30, which is your post-analytical phase, right? Which is demonstrating proper disposal of your waste materials, okay? All the way from number 1, where it talks about washing your hands and selecting your appropriate PPE, right? To cleaning your work area, to restocking your tray, okay? Make sure you're, just like when I used to tell y'all in lab, read through these. Y'all need to be practicing this stuff, even in the summer, okay? Because hopefully we'll be able to get back on campus, even if it's small boot camps with a few people here or there, to get you guys some more practice so that the 15 that are chosen for clinicals will have some more practice before they go to the VA and Willis Knight and all that. And please check your emails every day, once in the morning, once in the afternoon. Okay? If you have questions on any of the hepatitis stuff, on any of that paperwork, email Ms. Spearman on that. Okay? So you guys pause this, look at it, go look at Appendix A for quiz number 6. Now, I know you're not going to have quiz number 6, but you still need to understand the information. You need to know what your specimen source is. You need to know that you look at this rec to not only use to ID your patient, but what test did the doctor order? What section of the lab does it go to? What color top tube or tubes do you need? How many? What special handling is required? Why is this test ordered? All that information right there is in Appendix A. So with that renin, right, we need 2 purple top tubes. They need to be chilled. And the patient has to follow a 3-day special diet that's low sodium, right? You need to know if they're supine or upright. Renin is released by the kidneys when low sodium. Okay? So we would have stuck these. We would have went through the whole process. But I want y'all to be reading, and you better be practicing, guys. Practice. That's why you have that red backpack. Practice tying your tourniquet. Practice holding that stuff in your hand. I hope you guys are still practicing. Please practice doing your introduction, your identification, your medical interview. Read through these step by step, okay? So this would have been your second requisition, right? Your aldosterone. Again, guys, pause this right now and see if you can say this stuff. See if you know what your specimen source is. What test did the doctor order? What section of the lab does it go to? What tubes can be used? Which one is best? Remember, we always worry about turnaround time, right? What special handling is required? Why is this test order? Every bit of that information is in Appendix A. So red or SST, and right, SST is best, right? Because, why? Because it has silica in there and it has gel. So the silica is going to speed up the clotting time. So instead of waiting 30 minutes to an hour for the plain red top tube, we only have to wait 15 to 30 minutes for that SST, and it has that gel in it, so when we spin it down, it separates the serum from the cells, right? Which is important, okay? The patient must be recumbent for 30 minutes prior to the test, so if your patient is not recumbent, when you go into the room, you need to sit them up, get them recumbent, tell the nurse, and then you go do something else, right? Because we always want to maximize our time, and then you come back 30 minutes later and draw that test, right? And we know that aldosterone and renin are usually ordered together, right? We know that if we have low renin and high aldosterone, it indicates problems with our adrenal glands, correct? So pause this, make sure you're doing this, right? And then our third requisition slip, what did they order? Lactic acid, right? Same thing. Pause this right now and see if you can answer all those questions in blue. Okay, guys, if you're not able to answer these questions without looking, you need to be studying Appendix A. So you're going to need a gray top tube, right? Chilled and drawn without a tourniquet for the lactic acid, right? High levels with low O2, myocardial infarctions, sepsis, and strenuous exercise, right? Goes back to why we do that question, right? And y'all need to be practicing that. And I know that you go out there and you have your blood drawn and you've seen other phlebotomists and they don't do this stuff. But you know what? There's either people out there doing it the right way and they're very professional and they do it exactly the way it should be done. They're the best at what they do. Or you got people that kind of mail it in. They do the bare minimum. They do just what they need to do to get by and they don't cover all of it. And most of the time, people get away with that, but there's going to be that one time, and you don't want to be that one time where you make that mistake that costs somebody their life or causes them to be injured for life, okay? You want to always do the best job that you can do and be the best professional you can be. So make sure you're practicing that identification, your introduction, your identification, your medical interview, right? Make sure you are studying Appendix A, and make sure you are studying your lab final study guide, okay? So these are the things that we would have done in lab if we were in person lab, right? And we're always worried about those turnaround times, right? So, and we always, before we leave, right? And I know this is hitting home for you guys. I know that y'all are watching the news. You know what's going on with COVID-19, right? How this hits home, that it's vitally important that you dispose of your waste properly. You would never want to throw something with blood and body fluids in the regular trash so that the people that work in housekeeping, environmental services would touch that and could get sick from something. A little kid that was coming in to visit their grandmother could touch it and get sick. You want to make sure that you dispose of your waste properly. Think, guys, always think, okay? And then you always want to put your tray and supplies away. Make sure that everything's clean. And this is why this COVID-19 thing, guys, this is making you understand why I wanted you to make sure that you took your lab coat off, put it in a plastic bag, and put it in your book bag. I didn't want that lab coat that could possibly have blood and body fluids on it floating around inside your book bag, getting things dirty. Your kids could touch that, your girlfriend, boyfriend, your husband, your wife, and get sick, right? And then very last, you remove your gloves, remove them in the proper way that you've been trained how to do it so that you can throw them in the regular trash and they won't endanger someone's life or make them sick, right? And we always do that. So you guys, I hope everything's going well. Like I said, lecture test number 6, lab quiz number 6 will not happen, but I will put up all the videos for lecture and lab so that you will have them so that you can read those chapters in both your white lab binder and in your textbook. You can fill out your study guides for both lab and lecture, and so that when you take your final, you will have this information. So look forward to the next videos. I'm going to cover all the labs that are in this section. And remember, this is on approximately page 179 of your laboratory worksheets. And you're going to need to read those chapters at the front for 11, 12, and 13. Fill out those study guides. And I will put up corresponding videos dealing with labs 21 through 26. And these will be the last of your labs. Okay? Hope you guys are doing well. See you in the next video.